Hello everyone and welcome to the Collector's Table. My name is Adam and today we're going to be reviewing Ghost of Tsushima's Jin Sakai from Prime 1 Studios. So I know I'm a little late to the party on actually reviewing this piece, but I wanted to go ahead and review it anyway, only because I started recently playing the game. Still not done beating it yet, but so far it is a fantastic game, and I thought it would be fun to go ahead and do the review with you guys. So since this statue has been out for a little while now, a lot of people have already had it in hand and have done some reviews already. I figured we'd go ahead and skip the unboxing and go straight into the review. So with that being said, let's get started. So this statue comes in two different versions. You have the regular version with an edition size of 200, and then you have the deluxe version, which this is, with an edition size of 800. So as of the time of this recording, the regular version is sold out on both Sideshow and Prime 1 Studios websites. But the good news is the deluxe version or the DX version is still available, I think, on both websites. So if you decide that you want to get it, I'll have links in the description below. Now the difference between those two versions is just the unmasked or the masked portrait. I prefer the DX or the deluxe version of this statue just because I like the unmasked portrait a little bit better. But we'll take a closer look at that in a second. Let's go ahead and check the dimensions on this statue. So the height, you're looking at right around 23 inches. The width, we got to go from the tip of the sword on over. That's just over 22 inches. The depth, from the front of the fox there, is going to be just over 17 inches. So not bad as far as a quarter scale piece, especially from from Prime 1 Studios. They're usually a little bit bigger. But if you got standard garage selfing or something similar, it should fit just fine. As far as shipping, it wasn't too bad since I ordered it from Sideshow Collectables. I think I paid like $109 for shipping. And with shipping rates nowadays, that's not too bad at all. Just keep in mind, if you buy it from Sideshow Collectables, it is $100 more than buying it directly from Prime 1 Studios, which is overseas. But with the shipping costs, it's probably an even wash if you're shipping it from overseas anyway. So I just went ahead and pre-ordered it from Sideshow Collectables just to make it a little bit easier. I think the statue weighs right around 36 or 37 pounds. So with that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and take a closer look, starting with the base. So I really love this base. It's got a lot of different story elements that went into it. One being the ginkgo leaves that go throughout the base and have this sense of motion just going through the whole statue. Really good job on that. I love the motion of it and it looks great. Here's another angle of the ginkgo leaves just going throughout the statue. I think it looks really good and I wanted to show you a different angle. So here's the fox on the front of the statue, and the fox in the game is supposed to guide you or lead you to the Inari shrines. So I really like how the fox is done. The textures look great, the colors look great. So I really like how they incorporated the fox into the statue. And speaking of the shrine, here's the Inari shrine on the back of the statue. You have the two Inari foxes with the candles in between them, and you have some kind of like lantern post that's pushed off to the side, maybe from an ensuing battle that just occurred, or maybe just over time it just kind of fell off to the side. But really like how they incorporated all these different types of elements from the game and put it into the statue somehow. So really good job with that. And here's another nice little Easter egg. You have the golden bird another animal that leads you to the Inari shrines, and they tucked it away by the lantern post here behind Jin. So really like how they did that. So moving on to Jin himself, I really like how they did his sandals tied in with his shin guards and his body armor. The detail work again and texture work look phenomenal. It came out very, very well, and I like how they tucked the top of his pants there into his shin guards, and it's all sculpted, so looks very realistic. So came out very, very well. Check out the details in his plated armor that he has with the chain mail and the battle damage from maybe different wars he's been in or different battles he's had. I really like how the paint applications show more detail of those effects, and they really make it stand out. So really like the armor there. I also like how they added the mixed media rope that's going across his waist and over his shoulder there, holding his equipment together. They use actual rope that add to the effects of the realism. Here's a closer look of his body armor, and you got the plated armor on his chest with the chainmail that's interweaved with that. I like the designs in his actual uniform that he's wearing underneath the armor. The designs and going both his arms and throughout his clothing. And you got the two daggers there that are on his left shoulder. The wrinkles look great. The folds look good. The plated armor is in just the right spots to make this thing look just great. And on the back of the statue here, you can see that you have Jin Sakai's cape that's kind of flowing into the wind. It's got a tattered look at the bottom there, and it's kind of fallen apart with holes in it. And I really like how they put his Sakai clan emblem in the back there that's imprinted in the actual cape, and also got the folds and all of that that make it look very, very well done. So it actually looks like I missed part of the sheath here. As I was going through the review, I just noticed it, so let's go ahead and make sure that's in there now. And that looks good. Taking a closer look at the sheath and the small sword around his waist, you gotta really appreciate the small intricate designs that they put at the bottom of these sheaths. And also you can see the Sakai clan emblem on both of the sheaths if you look very closely. So I really like how they did that. And here's his main sword. Now, the cool thing about this sword, I think it's actually made out of metal for the blade itself, and then you have the handle that looks identical to the other small sword around his waist. And here's the third sword on his back, again with those small intricate designs at the bottom of the sheath, and you have the Sakai clan emblem at the top of it there. And the handle looks identical to the other two swords. And moving on to his portraits, this is the DX version, the unmasked portrait, and it's got a scar across his cheek there, which I think looks pretty cool. He's holding his mask, which is one of the swappable parts for the DX version. He's got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, and he has the facial expression of him contemplating on what he should do, whether he should become the ghost or not and go against the samurai code. But I really like how this portrait was done. Do I think it's 100%? Maybe pretty close, but I think it came out pretty well. And here's the regular version with his mask on and his arm bent at his side there with his hand on his sheath. So all of that, this whole section and the portrait itself is actually what swaps out, along with the sheath. And here's a closer look at the regular version with the mask on. Okay, so all in, I was right around $1,300 for this statue. It was around $1,200 for the statue itself, and about another $100 for shipping. So some people would say that's kind of expensive for a quarter scale statue. One thing I will say, it is a little bit pricey, but you are getting a ton of stuff with this base, and the designs and concept and the actual detail into this statue is off the charts. I mean, I'm completely satisfied that I bought this statue. I think if you've played the game or you're playing the game right now, this is kind of like a no-brainer piece. If you have the funds for it and you can get something like this, I would 100% buy it, especially if you like the game. And I think the game really added a lot more value for me in the statue. So I'm happy with it, and it's gonna go actually right, I got a spot right back here, and it's gonna look pretty good. I've been working on my shelving, but I'll do that in a separate video and show you guys more of the man cave. Also, I don't want to forget to mention the giveaway that I'm doing right now for the channel. As we grow, because we're a newer channel, when we hit our 1,000 subscriber milestone, I will be giving away the 1/6 scale tweeter head Joker on Throne piece. I'm going to be going over that piece in a detailed review once it gets here. That should be arriving, I think, any day now. So once it's actually released from Sideshow, it'll hit the collector's table here in a couple days, and we'll go over that statue. Remember, in order to enter for that giveaway, you have to leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think about this statue, if it's something that you think you might be getting in your collection. Also, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's content. It really helps support the channel, and I appreciate you guys stopping by here at the collector's table again, and I'll see you on the next one.